I screwed the marks up. There it is. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for
Welcome,
coming
everyone.
to my retirement party. I was expecting a watch.
The night is not over yet. Thank you and welcome, everyone, to the SAG Foundation's conversation with John Goodman. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys for being here.
Watching that clip reel made me extremely just happy. It's just, I think you were on a show recently, maybe it was The Daily Show, where Jon Stewart said you've never been in a bad movie or given a bad performance. And maybe you haven't. Maybe you have, and we just don't remember them because you're just so great in everything. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So obviously, I think the focus of tonight is your film roles, but I think we'd be remiss in not talking about Roseanne, at least briefly. So going back to that time in the 80s, I'm curious how you'd been in some films at that point. You'd started your relationship with the Coen brothers with Raising Arizona. I'm curious, how did that role materialize for you, the audition process, et cetera?
Roseanne?
Roseanne, yeah.
Yeah, I just started doing films, and it was hitting my stride pretty good. I got a call, Roseanne Barr. I said I heard of her, and she had a series of commercials for Pizza Hut, which is how I saw her. At the time, I was hanging around a lot of comedy clubs, but I'd never seen her work, and they called me in, and I don't remember real well, but she said that or somebody told me I came in, and I told her to move over on the couch, and that was it. And it's not a matter of trying not to sound high hat here, but I just knew I had it when I left, and we just had a great time. And even if I didn't get it, I didn't care, because we did. We had a really good time at an audition, which is rare. And it was something I was interested in. Never really done a television series before. I was on Moonlighting once. The Equalizer. I was, I think at the time, more interested in not living out of a suitcase for a while.
Yes, and everyone here, I'm sure, can relate to that. So going back just a little bit, I know you started acting in college around the same time you were playing football, is that right?
I never played football in college.
Never played football?
No. It's a great rumor, though.
Oh, well, it's an excellent rumor.
I went pro for 3 years, and I went back to college, and they wouldn't let me play college football anymore. No, I played high school football. We won one game in 4 years. So the recruiters weren't exactly beating the bush looking for me. I went down to a state school in Missouri. At the time, it was called Southwest Missouri State College. Now it's Missouri State, or the Missouri State University. And I wanted to go down and walk on the football team. I'd gone to a junior college. I did 3 plays there. I really got the bug. I got the bug in high school in a couple of musicals. It was in Little Abner and Hello Dolly. But I wanted to walk on the football team. It didn't work out. But I got in a one act, and the guy who eventually became my teacher and mentor saw me and insisted that they put me in a play for the next year. And that was it. My life changed.
And then after school, did you see yourself going into film, or did you just see yourself just trying to take whatever jobs you
could? That was below me. No, I would have done anything. I moved to New York in 1975 for theater work. That's the only thing I knew. I didn't expect ever to get into a motion picture. I didn't expect to work ever, but I knew if I didn't go and try, I would kick myself in the rear end for the rest of my life. And I've found other ways to beat myself up over the years.
Well, of course, you're an artist. That's what artists do, right?
Yeah, I'm an artist. No, I'm a craftsman.
Yes, exactly. And what was your first SAG job?
Commercial work. And I can't remember, a buddy of mine lent me $250 to buy my SAG card. That was for Cecil B. DeMille's. No. But the good thing was I got to pay him right back.
And that was here in Hollywood?
No, that was in New York.
In New York.
I didn't come out here until Roseanne.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you are auditioning, let's say after Roseanne, or after Roseanne was on the air, what type of roles did you find yourself being drawn to, or that people immediately saw you in?
No particular type. It was pretty goofy roles. See, I remember one summer. I don't remember if the first summer Roseanne or the second summer, but I did a version of Stella Dallas with Bette Midler, and then went into Always with Steven Spielberg. And maybe the year before that, I'm trying to remember now. No, it was during the spring. I was doing. I think I was doing two things at once. I was doing Roseanne, and then arachnophobia comes in there somewhere.
Right, yeah. So you were not typecast, is what you're saying.
I don't think so. I'm probably fooling myself.
But that's a huge achievement, though.
I didn't have anything to do with it. The fabulous Bob Gersh here.
Yes,
my agent.
thanks. And it's not often actors bring their agents to these Q&As, so that speaks very well of your relationship with them.
Can you tell I've been gargling hydraulic acid?
A little.
It's paying off.
So back to Coen Brothers, Raised in Arizona. That movie is so absurd and wonderful. How did that work? I mean, how did they find you? How did you find each other? Because this relationship is working clearly with them.
I was lucky enough to get a Broadway show, so I immediately left that in 6 months to do a David Byrne film.
True stories.
And True Stories. And then while I was doing that, I got cast in The Big Easy. But I think I was flying to different places to get these things, which put in the back of my mind, I can live anywhere I want. Anyway, and then I auditioned for Joel and Ethan in New York. I'd just seen Blood Simple, and I think I only had sides to read, but they were such great sides. And I went in and we just started goofing around. It was just wonderful. We were telling jokes, schmoozing, just having a great time. And I know I cared if I got the job or not, but it was such a great audition. By that I mean not a really wonderful audition, but it was such a great time. I didn't care. I just met these two guys and they were great.
And that movie, I'm wondering, what is it like to read that on the page? I mean, did you have a sense of what they were trying to do with that movie?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I did. A lot of references I got, where they were coming from. It was love at first sight.
And then obviously fast forwarding a little bit to Inside Llewyn Davis, which I just saw a couple days ago, and it's amazing, and you're so great in it. And when you look back on all the films you've made with them, is there one particular character that you feel sort of closest to?
It'd be hard to feel close to any of these guys.
or pick a favorite, I guess.
But the one I'm identified the most with is Walter from The Big Lebowski.
And when you guys were making that movie, did you have any sense that it would become this cult sort of gem that I think people look back on it? And I think there was like a delayed reception for that movie. Now we look back on it and it's just this piece of sort of pop culture, but at the time, I don't think people knew what to make of it.
I don't think they knew what to make of it either.
I knew what Ralph's was when I saw that movie. That was the first time I had heard of Ralph's grocery store.
It was, we had such a great time making it though. And I'm not gonna say I didn't care, but I didn't care. It was just, I knew it was wonderful and funny, and it made me laugh.
And how do the Coen brothers work in terms of their relationship with actors? And how much improv goes on? They're wonderful writers, but so you stick to the page.
Everything is on the script. The only line I remember being different from a script is Jeff Bridges calling the Big Lebowski a human paraquat. And there might have been something else as well, but I don't feel the need to improvise when it's that specific, and the ideas are so wonderful. They create everything in your mind. All this, it just frees your imagination for me, and I just love it. What's on the page is right there. There's your whole character.
I mean, and I have to imagine they'd have to be very specific in the script to even create the worlds that they create.
Yeah, they know exactly what they want before they start rolling. I remember being impressed by their storyboarding on Raising Arizona. I used to do a lot of commercials, so I remember that those were definitely storyboarded. And I was early in my movie making process, but I just remember being impressed by how specific they were with every shot and what they wanted.
I'm wondering, looking back when you were just starting out, what's something that you wish you'd known about the business that you could tell your younger self?
To relax. Have fun with it. I mentioned I did commercials before, and I used to beat myself up because I thought I was selling out. But at the same time, I was learning a lot. I was hanging around with a lot of guys that were very successful on stage and in films. And I thought, oh, here I am. But I just stopped beating up on myself so much.
And just sort of enjoy the process.
Yeah, just enjoy the ride. You're not going anywhere. You're always going to be there.
And the audition process, I know, is very stressful. Just getting them, first of all, and the process of auditioning. Do you recall an audition that stands out as being particularly horrifying for you?
Most of them. I'm sorry, I can't really draw on any one thing. I did learn early on in the process that you're not going to get it, most of them, and just relax. I don't know where that came from. It just because I was going on a lot of them, so I guess that made it easier. But I just knew that you're not going to get everything. Just give them be yourself. I keep hearing that. I didn't know what it meant until I went through the process of doing it, because I'm all I got. This is the only tool I got. I used to try to, what do you want, man? You want me to read this?
And then you realize someone else had already done that, right?
Yeah. Somebody been there, done it a lot better.
Yeah, it's a hard act to follow. Is there some great advice you got early on from someone that carried you through, either from someone on your team or
I'm sure there was, but it went in one ear and right out the other. I didn't hang on to a lot of good advice in those days. Be yourself. And it was repeated, pounded into me so many times, I guess it took. But yeah, that's all you got is you are your best tool. Also, you are your best agent, meaning not to degrade what they do, but you have to try to screen everything, what's good for you. Right. And respecting the people that are casting you and that are seeing you. Right. Because you might run up against them later.
Absolutely.
You probably will, if you're lucky, run up against them later.
And speaking of your agent.
And take care of your boys.
And 2 of your reps are here tonight, at least 2 of them. And I know a lot of people have a hard time navigating the transition to having a team and what that means, and believing in the people who are telling you what's best for you. And you said, listen to your instincts. How hard was that process for you to kind of navigate the business with?
It takes a while. Because there were times when I'd do anything. But it's part of the process. It's an opportunity to work, an opportunity to learn. It's still going on, just trying to do what's best.
Listen to your instincts.
Yeah.
I was very taken with your role in Treme, and I know that was a very personal story that you wanted to be a part of.
Yeah, I got to work at home.
You got to work at home. But the retelling of Katrina, I'm sure, was very difficult for everyone involved in the production. And tell me, how did David Simon immediately want you in that series? How did that work?
I think I came on later. I was in New York working, and David came in and he told me his idea for this character that he had. It was a late addition to the show. They'd already been shooting it, about what he wanted. He wanted a voice for a lot of frustrations, and he wasn't going to be around after the first year. But I said, great, I'm your boy. Like I say, I got to work at home. I did get to voice a lot of anger and frustration that people that lived through it and the response felt. So it was good for me to vent all that and have somebody else write the words for me.
Yeah, and your character had a very tough sort of arc, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah,
Not to spoil for people who haven't seen it.
okay. But it had some great people to work with.
It's interesting, that show has had such a tough time finding numbers in terms of an audience, but it's still on. It's going into its final season, and there's such an undercurrent of support for it. It's been very interesting for each
What
of
it was really been great for is the musicians in New Orleans.
Right.
It gives them a voice and a face to go with their music. Yeah, it's been wonderful for them.
I'm curious, growing up, who did you idolize in terms of performers? Did you have a sense of someone you wanted to emulate, or?
Yeah, early on it was Marlon Brando, and that was when I was in high school. Even before high school, there's just something about him that was different, that hit me, and I leaned a little too hard on it in college.
That's why you do a great Brando, by the way. Yeah.
Well, everybody does a great Brando. But what it did was make me wonder where that came from. I mean, he was, I've heard it said, the beginning and end of his own revolution. But he showed a lot of people a different style in the 40s.
Right.
And the emulation led to trying to explore where that came from. And then the Stanislavski method in college and other things. Try everything. Whatever you can throw against the wall that sticks, it works. It works. It's good.
Right.
But it was him initially that even before I had a dream of starting acting, oh man, what's that? What's that all about? What's this guy up to?
Had you seen him first On the Waterfront, or what was?
Yeah, it was On the Waterfront that really smacked me. And then in later years, I got to appreciate Elia Kazan, and I was really sent by him and the whole group.
We have some actually pretty good questions from the group, so I'll just dive right into these. This is from Bree.
Not a moment too soon.
Not a moment too soon.
Timing.
It's all about timing. Bree asks, what can you recommend for character actors who are seeking to showcase and expand their variety of work?
Seeking a showcase?
Or seeking to showcase and expand who they are as character actors. I always think the term character actors is funny, since aren't all
Yeah, I
actors
never
playing characters,
really
but
knew what I meant. I
maybe
guess
she
I
needs
am one.
non-traditional performers, or
I the only experience I have is theater. Get as many plays. Avail yourself of as many roles as you can. Different, just try to find a variety in yourself. As far as showcases, I missed that boat. I don't know how to tell you to get into that.
hopefully that satiates Bree's inquiry. You can't give a wrong
I'm not going to do more
answer,
harm
so
to good.
you're nothing but helpful. It's fine. This is from Colleen, and she asks, what is one type of character you are still wanting or needing to play that you haven't played?
I'm pretty satisfied, and I'm also pretty lazy. I am also pretty realistic. Looks like grandfathers are next. So I'm hoping to play a good, kindly grandfather. It sits down a lot.
Right. Well,
We call it preferred blocking.
well, if the Coens write their grandfather role for you, it won't be as
It won't be kindly,
right,
but he'll have grandchildren.
right.
Twisted little grandchildren with firearms.
Maybe a sequel to The Big Lebowski. This is from Joan, and this should be an interesting answer. Tell us how it was working with Roseanne.
We had a ball, and then we didn't. No, we had a ball. We were just like kids in a candy store at first, and then it kind of kept on that way. The show didn't have troubles. I had trouble. I was on I felt like I was on the show too long, and I was bothered by that. But I kept going every time, and there were just other sideshow things going on. The tabloids latched onto it real quick. They're always helpful. But there were ups and downs. But we were there for 9 years. We must have been doing something right. And she did it her own way. God bless her, man. She hung in there tough. And she really didn't know what she was doing in the beginning, but she knew what she wanted. And she could cut the fat off a script like nobody I've ever seen.
Wow.
And get down to business. And we did have a ball. We had a lot of fun, and I think it showed up on camera.
Absolutely. And to think that show was getting Super Bowl numbers on a regular basis.
Yeah,
It's
I think
hard to
those
even-
days are gone now.
I mean, for network television,
Yeah.
it's very difficult. And at what point, I think people always wonder, how many years in does it start to feel like I want to move on? When did it hit you, I guess?
It took 6 years, but
Six,
it was also still good to go to work. It felt like family. You knew what you were doing. And when I left, I wanted to recreate that experience, and then I realized, man, it's not going to happen again.
Wow.
That's gone. But it was a family, a highly dysfunctional family at times. But what family ain't?
Right. Well, and it's also that show, to think about it being on TV today, it was truly revolutionary, and there's no way it'd be on TV now.
Well, at the time, there was a lot of shows like Dallas and Dynasty, and then us.
Well, you and the Cosbys sort of,
Yeah.
on other sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. But yeah, we had fun.
Well, it showed. This isn't so much a question as a statement. This is from Craig Pollock. I don't know where you are. He just wanted to say John Goodman.
Are you angry? Are you a Batman fan?
I'll speak for him. He says that I love that he's partially responsible, not wholly, partially responsible for him getting his SAG card, and he wants to thank you.
Don't play me. You're welcome.
Give me your photo double on Evan Almighty. I didn't get the gig, but I got the voucher. So.
Oh, cool. Are you from Virginia?
Jersey.
Same thing.
Also, my brother was a PA on Newhart. He told me to tell you to say hello. You apparently met him a couple times.
Okay, cool. My kid's a PA.
That's good. Good way to get to know the business.
Yep.
This is from Rachel Bondi, and she says, what has been your biggest suffering, and how have you found purpose to your pain? We're getting a little more serious. No?
My biggest suffering was self-inflicted. And through that, it made me stronger. Once I tried to find out what was wrong with me, I still don't know, but I'm living with it. And it taught me that every day is a new day. And oh man, this is going into sap land. But I know the most important thing it taught me was to be grateful, because I lacked that before. Before it was just one goddamn thing after another. Now I'm very thankful for what I have. And I look back on years that I wasn't, and I gotta let it go. And but just to say thank you and mean it, because it's I've been very lucky.
And has that...
Suckers.
Oh, you were so close.
Yeah, I had to screw it up.
Did going through that change the types of parts that you wanted to play at all?
No. No, it made me think what has come my way. I've never really striven to play one type of role or another. It's just I've just taken what's come to me and made a dog's breakfast of it.
And I imagine a large part of that is working with the people.
The one thing about this business is you meet so many great people behind the camera. People work their asses off, you know, and are just friendly as hell. Nice people all over the place. There's some stinkers. Everybody knows who they are. You know, you don't let them drag you down. Everybody has bad days, but mostly everybody's there to work and get the job done. And it's just been, meeting all these great people and great actors.
Absolutely. This is from Victor, and he would like to know, what do you think you'd be doing if you hadn't become an actor?
The plan was, I'm from St. Louis, was to go back and try to get on at the brewery. That would have been a bad idea. And I don't know how long I would have lasted, but I didn't have any fallback. I got to New York, I couldn't, nobody hired me as a waiter or a bartender. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, but I'd go to these, one thing after another. I have no idea what I'd be doing. You know, I bet though I'd be doing community theater somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure I would, because I'd always planned on that anyway. You know, just, you don't make it, you keep doing it, because it was fun.
And how has learning your lines changed over the years? What's your approach to that?
Learning by rote. It's just more important to me now to learn your lines. I think Al Pacino taught that, and he got that from Lee Strasberg. Learn your lines. Early and often. Yeah, learn your lines. I used to do it, but I still do it by rote. And if it's good writing, they almost learn themselves, like Joel and Ethan's stuff. It's real easy to learn. Yeah, I had like a 2-page speech about a month ago, and it was so good that Gary Trudeau wrote, and I learned it the night before. I kept running and running and running, but I amazed myself. Hey man, you still got it. For about 2 more years. I'm trying to remember other people's names right now, and I'm forgetting them, but the more relaxed you are, the easier it is.
And speaking of Gary, your newest project, Alpha House, on Amazon Studios. How did you get attached to that? That's an interesting project.
They axed me.
Yeah. How did you feel about venturing into the digital domain?
It was interesting. That was it, though. I mean, it's just the process, like everything else. They just put it up somewhere else. But it was, Gary Trudeau's name, and then I read the script. I said, yeah, man, I want to give this a try. I've been wanting to do television again, and I haven't done comedy for a long time either. I've done some comedic stuff, but I haven't just out and out done a comedy.
You're usually the comic relief. That's why.
Yeah, but I miss that sense of family I was talking about before with Roseanne, where you show up the same place every day and get sick of each other. But learning your lines, I want to get back to that, because for a while there I was so hung up on it that I was blocking myself from learning. So, well, you're never going to learn this. And then that just went away, but I had a real problem for a while.
And how did you break through it?
I don't know.
Maybe in the last few years you've become more relaxed, you said?
Yes, in the last few years I've become more relaxed. In the last few years, I learn them in my sleep. Sleep learning.
We probably have time for a couple questions from the audience.
Have you ever written, directed, or produced?
I'm a lazy man. I can't imagine what writers go through. And I really appreciate good writing, but my God, that must be so hard. Directing, I'm starting to, I never paid any attention to it. I was just so worried about what I was going to do. I'm not going to say it's interesting to me, but or starting to interest me, but I have a greater appreciation for it now. I just got to work with George Clooney as a director last year, and man, is he good. He knows what he wants, and but he makes the whole set. It's not a party, but everybody's there, to support him. He has such great goodwill, it just permeates down to everybody. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Could you talk about being in Chud?
Sir?
You did the film Chud with Horton Foot's daughter.
Yes, I did.
Could you talk a little about it? 'Cause
I don't remember much about it. It was about 30 years ago. Jay Thomas and I were cops. We walked into a diner. Hallie Foote, Horton Foot's daughter, was the waitress. And then they, okay, get a cup of coffee, talk about what you're going to do tonight, and then turn around and see these cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers are coming through the window at you. All right, can you do that again? All right, thanks. So it was like half a day's work. And a lot of guys I was hanging around with at the time were in it.
thank you so much.
You, sir.
Yes, sir.
John, thanks for being here. Appreciate the time. Can you tell any good experiences about Argo?
The whole thing was a great experience. Well, Ben Affleck is another guy that knows what he wants, and he's a great guy to work for. It was a great story. I felt like I was part of something, and I got to work with the beautiful and phenomenal Alan Arkin. That guy doesn't waste anything, man. He just right there. no fat on it, you know, just perfect actor. God damn, he's good.
Okay, right here, this lady with the long dark hair.
If you could pick a personal favorite between film and TV or theater, would you choose one?
Whatever I'm not doing at the time. I like doing television because you work fast and you can't stew around and make, well, I'm going to do, you got to do it. And then I grow to appreciate that less and think about how I want to get back on stage again. It's been 5 years. But I got a bum knee I got to get fixed before I can do that. But yeah, it's whatever I'm not doing at the time.
Sir?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for your great characterizations. I just saw Llewellyn Davis, who was fantastic.
Thank you.
And I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I wanted to thank you for your Big Lebowski, because I thought it was a lot of laughter, which did a lot of healing for all of it, so thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Probably just one more question right here.
I'm curious if you've ever auditioned, booked a role, and then went, oh crap, now I have to do it. Like, if you-
Sure.
Like, do you ever? What do you do when you feel over your head?
Slow down and basically, what do you want? And just keep your eyes focused on the guy you're playing, or person you're playing across from. And everything will take care of itself. And if it doesn't, learn to type. And I never learned to type.
Well, on that wonderful piece of advice, thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Thank you.